Hi everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I'm here to talk about these energies, to dig into the masculine and the feminine, see kind of what's going on. I know the energy is feeling very heavy. I feel a lot of purging, upheavals, a lot of towers coming down in the energies as Mars prepares to enter Scorpio. I think it really is about to bring a lot of hidden energy, a lot of dark repressed shadows to the surface, a lot of survival energy I feel coming up to be addressed, and I think a lot of challenges in the energy. So I think sharp judgment is also something that's coming up. Rebellion. So I kept hearing a Bon Jovi song over and over in my head, and I feel this is kind of where the masculine's at. I don't even know what it's called, but it's shot through the heart and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. So I feel like the masculine's been betrayed is kind of what I feel is coming through, like stabbed in the heart. I feel a lot of heart chakra pain in the energies in order for the masculine to be willing to compromise, because there's been that lack of compromising within the connection. So I do feel communication is likely coming. There's a lot of karmic lessons kind of being learned in the energies. And I got hit with quite a few mini towers today. So I'm sure that's a reflection of, the masculine's going through that, at a larger scale, at a bigger capacity. So let's jump in and see what energies are surrounding the collective. We'll start with the masculine. We're going to start with the tea leaf deck and kind of see what energies are around the masculine at this time. Yeah, he's definitely, I feel, struggling with his finances, really needing to pay attention to his finances, because I feel the karmic energy really is working against him behind his back. He's surrounded by a bunch of rats, and I think quite possibly even a job loss, because we have the money path. So I feel, the masculine's being shown there is an abundant pathway opening up. He's going to have to take that step forward into happiness and well-being. So I feel with the sun, illumination when it comes to this person working against him. And then we have the bag, like a money bag. So it's speaking of a new job. So I do feel the masculine's likely facing a job loss in the energy, or really contemplating, changing careers. I don't think where he's at it's working for him, for his spiritual calling, for what he came here to do. And I feel, the karmic energy really is working against the masculine. For the feminine, we get triumph over troubles. So I do feel like this victory energy surrounding the feminine, kind of like the feminine is, rising above the fray, is kind of what it feels like. But I do feel a lot of anxiety around the masculine as he's going through this shift. And I think the feminine is likely feeling these energies. So we do have the tower. So for the feminine, that is building a solid foundation with success and effort. And that's what the feminine has been striving to do, building that solid foundation for self. I feel the feminine really is stepping into a lot of successes when it comes to this firm foundation of self. And then we get June on the bottom of the deck. So, it's feeling like everything kind of playing out from back in the summer. I feel a lot of these heavy clearings really took place back in June of 2021, and I feel the final sludge kind of being removed and brought to the surface as the masculine kind of deals with all of these negative forces kind of working against him at this time. So let's see what needs to come through for the divine masculine with the spiritual journey oracle deck today. What other energies need to come through for the masculine? I feel with Halloween just a couple days away too, like the veil is really thin. I feel a lot of spirit communication with the veil being so thin. I feel a lot of disillusionment when it comes to the false contract. A lot of truth is coming forward. I feel, that's that energy that I'm feeling. Fear. It's like my insides are riddled with this fear energy as kind of these illusions get shattered in the masculine's world. So I think the masculine's learning how to simply observe this experience without expectations. Because I feel, the ancestors are really close with the masculine at this time. I also felt that too. A lot of spiritual communication as the masculine is, being watched over as he goes through this major karmic lesson in the energies, and I feel this is all stemming around a lot of karmic past life experiences. And I do feel that heart pain. This is a very, very painful lesson for the divine masculine in order for him to step into this spiritual growth. And he's really, really needing to listen to what the ancestors are saying. And there's that triggering. So I do feel like the masculine is really being tested in the energies this weekend, because these patterns need to be addressed. These negative, repetitive behaviors, addictive behaviors, they need to be corrected this lifetime. And divine really is, I feel, at work when it comes to the masculine's life right now. There's a lot unfolding behind the scenes for the masculine. I feel divine feminine, release any expectations at this point in time, because the divine is orchestrating a lot going on within the masculine's world in order to have those long-term results, in order for him to fully surrender and release the ego. And I feel a lot is being left out of the masculine's life. I do feel he really is trying to put in those very firm boundaries, energetically, emotionally, and physically. And that's definitely important for the masculine at this time. So let's see what needs to come through for the feminine soul alignment. And that is exactly what is triggering this awakening with the divine masculine, is the feminine is coming into union of self. She's coming into, you know, that complete and total alignment, which is creating a breakthrough and a pivot point along the journey, because, yeah, we've got that soul alignment. So, you know, the feminine really is integrating a lot of these new earth energies and coming into that 0 point, that complete balance of the masculine and feminine within, as the feminine really steps into her purpose. So I think a lot is happening for the divine feminine right now. There's a lot of messages coming through, and I do feel, you know, the telepathic connection. The feminine can kind of see and feel what is going on with the masculine at this time. And I feel like the feminine really is transmitting a lot of the masculine's energy. I feel, you know, that disconnection energy is coming back into reconnection. And a lot's going on in the higher realities in the spirit realm, as, you know, this pivot point is kind of put into place, and it is like decision time. The masculine is going through a lot of upheaval that is going to have a substantial impact on this journey for him moving forward. And it's that fork in the road for the masculine, as the feminine really kind of calls in the tribe is what's coming through. The feminine really has called in a lot of beautiful soul friendships and partnerships. And, you know, there's a lot of growth when it comes to the divine feminine collective, and, you know, banding together and rising in that unity consciousness. So I feel stagnancy will be relieved very, very soon, because I feel a breakthrough is at hand for the feminine. As we kind of go through this final layer of transformation. And I do feel, you know, the feminine's hard work really is persevering, and it's finally paying off. So let's get some archetype energies and see what needs to come through further for the divine masculine for the weekend. I feel a lot is definitely playing out this weekend. So what else can you tell me about the divine masculine? I see the healer, the slave. So, you know, the masculine really has been a slave to his lower ego desires, giving his willpower away to addictions and external authorities. I really feel the karmic energy is controlling the masculine through fear-based energy. And I feel the masculine fears kind of stepping forward. But I feel with the student, yeah, major lessons being learned on Don Juan, about that Don Juan attitude. Because in the past, you know, the masculine used romantic attraction for his own private agenda, for his own private goals. And, you know, he kind of dangled that power over the divine feminine. And I feel like the spotlight's being shown on those toxic, seductive qualities that the masculine is here to transmute. And I do feel this deep level of humility in the energies as the masculine steps into devotion, you know, heeding the call and really being open up to this lifelong learning journey with the divine feminine. So, you know, there's that arrogance below the surface that the masculine is really needing to shed, that pride, that ego, because it's created a lot of destructive energies in and around him in his pursuit for money and glory. And I feel it's really time to take that action, kind of to surrender to the energies for the masculine, to surrender to divine will, and to kind of take that leap of faith with that complete trust in his heart, because the masculine really does have healing hands. He is supposed to, you know, be that healer and serve with passion and to help others repair, you know, their soul, their mind, their body, their spirit. And the masculine truly does have the ability to transform this pain and to step into healing and then to be that healing light, to step into compassion. So I feel fear really is the biggest illusion that the masculine is needing to work through this weekend. For the feminine, we get the engineer. So I feel like the feminine really has tried to piece a lot of this journey together. And the feminine, I feel, is really stepping into, you know, getting grounded in her practical expression and putting that, you know, into good use for the collective, turning that into, you know, her foundation. I feel the feminine is facing some minor dilemmas in the energy as the masculine goes through these major towering events. And I do feel the masculine is going to need your help. I think he's going to be reaching out, seeking some help, because I do feel the masculine is experiencing some very heavy emotional consequences in the energies, and the feminine is definitely feeling that. So with the Samaritan, I just feel, you know, this can no longer be ignored. It really is time for the masculine to exact that appreciation and that recognition for his divine counterpart. You know, because the feminine really has stepped into sharing this deeper knowledge and, you know, possessing this with benevolence. And I do feel the masculine really is being forced to release these superficial pursuits as the feminine steps into her professional mission is kind of what's coming through. Bottom of the deck, Virgin. So that's like a lot of purification. And the fear, I think, is about that deep, intimate union with the feminine, because the feminine can see right through the masculine. She sees him, you know, in the darkest of the dark and the light, you know, and the feminine sees the masculine exactly for who he is. And I think he fears, you know, that contact, to look the feminine in the eye, because then he's really going to have to face himself as well. So there's fear about that union, fear about that communication. And I feel feminine, you're just kind of required to maintain your purity of heart and to stay grounded with your connection with spirit at this time, because I do feel, you know, the twins are stepping into serving humanity with humility together in mission, and that is what we are here to do, to embody and to teach about Christ consciousness and living a life of compassion. So let's see what else needs to come through with the Energy Oracle deck for the Divine Masculine today. The fourth chakra, there's that heart energy coming through that I felt. So it feels like a very painful heart chakra awakening. This truly is a victory. This truly is a victory as the masculine kind of opens up his heart and opens up that doorway to personal happiness and healing. So I feel Archangel Raphael is very closely with the Divine Masculine, as, you know, he opens that doorway to value, and that doorway to value is always from the heart center. And then we have the thinking woman. So I feel the masculine's kind of tapping into some of his feminine energies. The thinking woman for me represents, you know, the divine feminine in her expanded consciousness and a lot of spiritual wisdom. So I feel he can kind of see the feminine clearly with the sun on the bottom of the deck, illumination. He sees where his happiness lies and where his well-being resides. And that is in, you know, restoring a sense of balance within this connection. So we'll see what needs to come through for the feminine. We get a man holding a coin. So I think the masculine might want to come back with a solid, committed offer. I think something that's going to lead to some abundance. The masculine's likely not wanting to come back without something solid and stable to offer the divine feminine. And there's that balance. So the feminine is coming into that perfect yin-yang balance. And you're really needing to release any fear-based energy about security. So I do feel the feminine really is feeling that masculine fear too about his financial security. And look at, and the sun on the bottom of the deck again. So I just feel a lot of enlightenment, a lot of expansion, a lot of illumination in the energies. So let's jump in with some tarot and see what else needs to come through. We'll dig into the masculine first, and then the feminine, and we'll clarify as need be. So the King of Pentacles just flew out in reverse and landed on a man holding a coin. So I do feel the masculine is very much struggling financially in the energies, and he does fear not having anything to offer. But I think he doesn't have much to offer, the feminine. We have two pages, the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So I do feel a lot of financial hardship, but the masculine is coming back with a solid offer. No matter how little it is going to be tangible. It is going to be truthful. So the masculine is preparing to send a message, but there's fear. There's a lot of fear surrounding that energy, as the masculine kind of has to face these energies head on. So what needs to come through for the divine feminine? The Ace of Swords reversed, Three of Cups reversed, and the Moon reversed. So I think truth is coming. You know, the masculine hasn't communicated with the feminine in quite some time. I do feel exposure over the third party energy. Everything is coming to light. Something stemming around the moon cycles. So I think by the Scorpio new moon, expect some communication. I feel the masculine's going into some very dark inner aspects with this shift that's taking place. So I do feel he's kind of all tied up right now, going through some deep healings, some deep spiritual healing with spirit. And I do feel, once again, that financial hardship, but illumination and better times are just around the corner. So let's get a couple twin flame oracle messages to see what else is going on with the twins. Ascension, forgiveness. I just peeked at forgiveness. So I think answers are coming. There's a lot being released in the energy. A lot of negative cords and attachments are being released so the twins can start anew with love. And there's a lot of shedding in order for both of the twins to raise their soul's vibration, as all of these old limitations are kind of released and cleansed out of our energy, as, you know, the flow, it begins to kind of open between the twins again as the feminine comes into that perfect alignment. So there is like this pause, this reprieve, as we both kind of need to replenish our reserves as the masculine goes through this realignment into positivity. So major lessons are being learned, and I do feel the feminine is transmuting a lot of these energies as, you know, the masculine really opens up to this unconditional love that the twins share. And there's a lot of program beliefs coming up in the energies to be shed when it comes to these underlying blocks, which is, I feel, triggering a lot of the masculines, because that feminine energy really is coming into that exact blueprint, that exact alignment for this twin flame reunion to take place. So, you know, clear your energy, balance your chakras. That will allow easier flow between the twins for the telepathy that is coming through. And the divine really is working hard at putting balance in place. So I do feel the karmic energy really is pushing both of the twins to grow at this point in time. So let's just get a couple more cards. I'm going to grab the Love Oracle deck. I knew I forgot to pick a deck out when I got set up. So, and please be patient with me, guys, as I work on getting the rest of the monthlies done. For the zodiac signs, I'm having some issues, some technical difficulties with my camcorder, getting it to record past 10 minutes, and I'm just having all kinds of issues. So be patient with me. Everything truly does happen in divine timing when the message is supposed to come through. So we get I like you and the axe. So there is a major separation taking place for the masculine at this time as he releases this pattern. You know, the silent treatment's getting old, I think. This abandonment wound really needs to be faced. But I do feel, you know, romance blooming below the surface. The masculine does want to send a message and maybe flirt with you, kind of see where he stands. I think he doesn't know where he stands. Yeah, so he might want to try and, you know, flirt with you a little bit, try to seduce you. But there's that third-party interference that I feel is still trying to create a lot of drama around the masculine, which is in turn triggering a lot of anger. I feel the masculine really is fed up when it comes to that energy. So what needs to come through for the divine feminine? Okay, wedding rings. Yeah, the chaser. I think now the masculine's chasing you. He fears losing the feminine. I feel that's his biggest fear too right now. He fears losing the divine feminine, and I feel he's coming in chasing very, very strongly. Because he does want this union. So there is this higher level of commitment leading to marriage, most likely. It is an eternal, everlasting, unconditional love that the twins share. And I feel the masculine does want to come forward with a proposal of some kind. Yeah, there's that snake. So, that's that Kundalini energy. So there are a lot of enemies working against the masculine, a lot of malicious behavior going on around the masculine when it comes to the karmic and breaking free. And I feel the masculine's constantly feeling like he has to look over his shoulder, like he's in this competition. And, I don't think the masculine's talking about this. I don't think he's really showing anybody his true fears. I feel there's a lot of masking in the energy. I feel the karmic really is gaslighting him. The karmic really is trying to bring the masculine to rock bottom. So I think get ready for the masculine to reach out, because he's going through a shocking epiphany. I feel major upheaval, transformation when it comes to this shocking news. Whatever shocking news is revealed, it's like that final nail in the coffin for the masculine to come forward, with that higher level of commitment with the engagement ring. So this cycle is coming to completion. Union energy is very close. We are purging that sludge like I talked about. The twins both have to be purified for this connection to come together. So there is a lot being shed, a lot being removed in order for us to prepare for when the twins meet again. I believe it's in February of 2022. So, and that's the 6th year, which is all about healing and the Jesus code. So let's just get a couple last messages for the twins when it comes to this energy reading. Explore your hidden depths. And that's exactly what I feel the masculine's doing. Exploring these dark, repressed, hidden depths as Mars goes into Scorpio. It's all about transformation, going into the darkness, facing those shadows. I feel the energy really is infusing the masculine to release these materialistic energies, this vain energy, this bitterness. I feel you might be dealing with a masculine that has heavy Leo placements. That would be a direct link to the rise of the tribe. But I feel the masculine really has dug a grave for himself. And I feel like the guides are kind of throwing him a spiritual shovel and telling him it's time to dig yourself out of this hell that you're in, out of this prison of worry, out of this prison of indecision. And, it's time for the masculine to construct something solid in his life, to restore his sense of desire for something higher than these low vibration entities. So it really is time for the masculine to break free from all of this shallowness and to kind of start brand new, to really go into those hidden depths, because vibrations are being raised in the energy. I feel the feminine really is stepping into, that testimonial of her journey, really stepping into her gifts and her calling. And, I feel the feminine is stepping into like being that star, or really making a solid name for herself. And I feel this really is bringing up a lot of resentments. I feel, towards the feminine by the masculine. I feel the masculine's feeling very overburdened because he didn't think the feminine was ever gonna, move on. I feel there's a lot of shockwave happening, a lot of heaviness, extra heaviness. And this is part of the initiate journey. I feel the masculine really is being initiated and blasted into this awakening and ascension journey. So I feel a lot of expansion in consciousness, and there will be restoration within this connection. The masculine's going through a psycho-spiritual scrub, I think, and things are leaving very quickly out of his life in order to, get him to release this victim mentality, all of these energy vampires in his life, all of these negative vices. I feel light is being shed on all of these negative vices, and it's time for the masculine to get clear. Very, very clear. He might be getting kicked to the gutter. I'm not sure. But, the masculine's not been where he belongs, and it's time to restore his light is kind of the energy coming through when it comes to the energies today. So that's what I have for the Twin Flame Collective, guys. I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.